Welcome to the Darshan channel. What if political philosophy wasn't some abstract, dusty thing just for academics, but a practical set of tools? Like tools you could actually use to build a better society? Well, that's the incredibly powerful idea from one of the 20th century's most important thinkers, John Rawls. And today, we're going to open up his toolkit and see exactly how it all works.
But let's be honest for a second. When you look around at the endless and often really bitter political debates happening everywhere, it is so easy to wonder, what is the actual point of it all? Can philosophy really offer any practical help in the real world?
Well, John Rawls was convinced it absolutely could. He didn't just want to join the debate. He wanted to provide a whole new blueprint, a foundation for how we even think about justice itself. He really believed philosophy had a job to do.
Now, at the very heart of his work is this idea he called justice as fairness. And the first tool in his kit is a really crucial distinction he makes. He's not trying to create a personal moral code for every part of your life. Nope. His focus is way more specific, a theory of justice just for society's main institutions, what he called its basic structure. And just making that distinction, it's a complete game changer because it reframes the entire conversation. So how does philosophy actually do this work? Rawls laid out 4 key roles it can play. Let's dive into the first one, which is all about taming the conflicts that just seem to be constantly pulling us apart.
The problem is pretty obvious, right? We see it every single day. These deep, persistent political disagreements can make it feel totally impossible to live together. They can wear away at social cooperation and even our basic respect for one another.
Okay, so the first tool to tackle this is what Rawls calls the practical role. Philosophy's job here is to be the mediator in the middle of that constant tug-of-war. See, it's not about one side winning. It's about finding a common ground, a place of reason we can all stand on. And look, even if we can't resolve every single disagreement, like that classic tension between liberty and equality, this tool helps us narrow the gap, just enough to keep society cooperating.
So if the first role handles conflict between groups, what about our own personal connection to society? The second role gets into this, focusing on how we find our place in the bigger picture. It is so easy to feel like you're just a tiny, insignificant part of this massive, complex nation. Where do I fit in? What does it even mean to be a citizen here? This feeling of alienation, that's the problem the second role is meant to solve.
And the tool for this is the role of orientation. Think of it like a conceptual map for society. Instead of feeling lost, philosophy gives us a clear framework that shows us where we stand as free and equal citizens. It clarifies our society's fundamental goals, giving us all a shared destination on that map.
Okay, so even with a map, it's easy to get frustrated with the journey, right? And this brings us to the third role, which is all about how we deal with the imperfect world we actually live in. I mean, let's be real. Sometimes our social and political institutions can be incredibly frustrating. It's totally natural to feel anger or even rage when we see injustice or things just not working. It can feel like we're trapped in a system that we never even created.
So how do we deal with all that frustration? Some philosophers, like Hegel, thought we should find a way to positively affirm our social world, to see it as rational. But Rawls takes a much more pragmatic approach. His goal isn't to make us love our society's flaws, but to help us accept the fundamental, unchangeable facts of what it means to live in a modern democracy.
And maybe the most important of these facts is what he called reasonable pluralism. And what that means is pretty simple. In a free society, reasonable people will always hold profoundly different and conflicting beliefs. This diversity isn't a bug to be fixed, it's a permanent, natural feature of freedom. And this is exactly where the role of reconciliation comes in. It's a tool that helps calm our frustration by showing us the underlying rationale of our institutions. It helps us make peace with the idea that this pluralism is here to stay, and then it shows how, even in a society we didn't choose to be born into, we can still see ourselves as free and cooperative members.
Accepting reality is one thing, but that can easily slip into cynicism. And this leads us to Rawls's final and maybe most inspiring role for philosophy.
The problem here is political despair. It's that sinking feeling that nothing is ever really going to change, that a truly just and decent society is just some kind of fantasy. This kind of cynicism is so corrosive, and it's exactly what the fourth role is designed to fight against.
Rawls's final tool is the realistically utopian role. Now, this isn't about daydreaming. It's a serious investigation into the limits of what's truly possible. And asks a critical question: what is the best kind of society we can realistically hope to achieve? By giving us a credible, achievable goal to aim for, philosophy provides the blueprint for hope and gives us the motivation to actually build that better world.
So we have these four very distinct roles, but the real power, the real genius of it, comes when you see them all working together as one complete philosophical toolkit for society. Let's put it all together.
This table just lays out the entire toolkit so clearly. And notice the powerful logic here. For every major political problem, conflict, alienation, frustration, or cynicism, Rawls gives us a specific philosophical tool designed to fix it. This completely transforms philosophy from a passive, academic activity into an active, problem-solving force for society.
And that really is the ultimate takeaway here. For Rawls, this was never just theory for theory's sake. He saw political philosophy as a vital, practical thing to do. It's a way for us as a society to grapple with our biggest challenges and to actively work toward a more just future.
So, I'll leave you with a question. Looking at our world today, right now, which tool from Rawls's kit do you think we need the most? Do we need the mediator to tame conflict, the map to give us direction, the realist to help us face facts, or the visionary to give us hope? It's really something to think about. Thanks for joining me.